we just got some huge updates for WWE 2K25 yesterday, and a lot of news has dropped, a lot of gameplay, a lot of things that we need to find out has dropped, and now we're going to get into it and give a breakdown of it.
Yeah, boy.
So on February 5th, the embargo was lifted for all the content creators that were able to go down to Royal Rumble weekend and sit there and be able to get gameplay footage for us about 2K and see and to show us what we can expect in the game. Now, this was a limited build that it was said that it was only a couple matches, only a couple, like a handful of superstars and things for them to do. So we couldn't get the extent of everything, and there's still things that are still under embargo, such as, to my understanding, the NXT Underground match. But we didn't get anything when it comes to like GM mode, universe mode, even the island. All that stuff has yet to come. But we did get a lot of things when it comes to gameplay and things like that. So I'm going to give you guys my breakdown of it. And once again, I'm going to be using some of the clips to illustrate what I'm talking about from the content creators that went down there. Smack Talks is one of them. Smack Talks is big. I watch Smack Talks all the time. And then there's another one called Money Benjamin also, who had a very extensive breakdown that I really thought, an extensive breakdown of I really thought was just, you know, very detailed of what he did, what he liked and what he didn't like some of that. So I'm going to be using some of these clips for these YouTubers, and all the clips I'm using that you guys are going to see that I'm going to post, that these are clips that are going to be used, and all the information is going to be in the description box below. So make sure you guys go over there, support them, subscribe to their channels, and make sure you get them all support, because they were out there and did all this work for us. I'm just going to illustrate the point of some of the things that came up there. And also, if you guys like the content I'm doing here for WWE2K25, make sure you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button as well, because we're about to get up into this, man. I'm excited to dive in of the things that we saw. Alright, and one of the things I want to start with is the gameplay. So when we look at the gameplay looks very similar to WWE 2K24. I wasn't expecting them to do a whole overhaul gameplay type thing, but however, I can say they did make some kind of minor improvements, because chain wrestling is back. So chain wrestling is back, just like last time we seen chain wrestling was at WWE 2K20, and it is back when you start with a lockup in the match, and we still have the little mini games you do, but this time there are new things that you can do when you do lock up, as it, you know, push your opponent into the corner, and different kind of options you can have. It kind of reminds me of Madden, when you can do a touchdown dance, or after you make a first down, you get to choose what kind of celebration you want to start off everything, and to go right into the chain wrestling. Pinfall seems the same, but there's like a new submission system now. It's going back to the ways of to try to get the color bar into the bar and stuff like that, which honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not a fan of that, to be honest with you. I was never really good at it, but they said in this game you can pick it up relatively easily, but there's always an option, and that's the best thing about everything. There's always an option. There's an option to go back to either the button mash or whatever other option that they have, that you don't have to do that form of submission. Along with the gameplay, one of the biggest selling points they talked about was the third-person camera. This camera it's like you're playing GTA, where you can see everybody in the third person, and it's just not just an entrance type of camera. You can do this through your entrance. You can do this throughout the whole matchup. You can do this throughout any type of gameplay that you're doing. And yes, it's going to be a thing where it looks like you're going to have to learn how to, because you can still toggle it as the match is going on, but also that is still the same control when it comes to pinfall and things like that. So this I still got to figure, I still got to see what they said of how they balance that stuff out. But from that, the third person shot alone, it's just been great. So from the footage that I've seen that everybody doing the third person camera, I'm like, this thing is amazing. It's just if you like in that action, it's like it's always on your person, and I'm like, that looks like one of the most coolest features. I think that's going to be the hit feature when it comes to 2K25 for all the other things that they got going on. Sticking with the gameplay, we also have a thing for barricade dives. So now when you're on the barricade, now you can climb on the barricade. We weren't able to do this in Smackdown versus Raw, I believe, where you can climb up on the barricades and then you can jump off, and it's not a generic jump off splash move or generic jump off double axe handle. It is going to be whatever you assign your superstar to have to jump off. And I've seen a lot of things where they can jump off and they can actually walk the tightrope of going across the barricades and then jumping off them. And there's a lot of things that you can just do off the barricade and off different platforms to jump off, because there's a lot of platforms in this game I've saw. There are a lot of platforms. So adding that to there, also when you are tossing a superstar into the barricade, there's LED damage now. So now over time, as much as you keep tossing your superstar into the barricade, the more damage the LED boards we're going to get, kind of like we do see in real WWE. So that's a little small touch also. Along with on the side, the announce table also they brought up, there's the Prime Hydration Station. So there's Prime everywhere in this game. And along with that, you can destroy the Prime Station, and you can also use the Prime Hydrate, like the Prime bottle as a weapon. So all those things are just, I like, those are like little chef's kiss that they be adding to it. Going over to the match types, the only match type, so the biggest match type that I've seen that they were able to show that I was looking at that really got me was the backstage brawls, which are now just being known as brawls now. So we don't just have the standard brawl arena like we did for all the other 2K games. Now we have different locations where we can go to, and there are a couple locations that we saw. We saw the NXT parking lot. For anybody knows wrestling, they know the NXT parking lot is the most dangerous place in wrestling. Along the NXT parking lot, there's so many things. There's an ambulance that's back there, which is like it was in another game where you can still do the ambulance type things for the ambulance match. Then they also have all these kinds of weapons. There's trash can lids, there's cones, there's even scaffolding now. And the one big thing is, look, the scaffold being there at the bottom, there is 4 chairs set up with a glass panel, like a glass plane that's sitting right there, that you can just take your superstar and just throw them into the glass. I mean, 2K must have been sitting at the TV and they must have saw this. They say, yeah, that was stupid, but you know what? We can put this in this game. It is so open, and now I didn't see too many interactions with different things like doors and different areas you go to, or transporting through these different areas. But I think it's just different areas you can select that you can fight in. But one of the best things that I saw, that I reacted to, that I can't wait to check out, is the WWE Archives area. This is like you're fighting in a warehouse, but you're fighting in a warehouse of a wrestling fan's dream, where all these different archival stuff that's back there, old WrestleMania signs, tombstones from the Buried Alive matches, old signs from Saturday Night's Main Event and SummerSlam, and then there's different shelves that are holding different weapons, steel steps, and you can literally use anything in here. There's a ring with no ropes, like it's being set up, and it's like, well, if they got the underground match, you can use the ring. They have climbable scaffolds all over the place, and the Smackdown fist is there. You can climb on the fist. It's like Here Comes the Pain all over again, where you had those things backstage. You can climb over everything and throw people off everything and interact with anything. There's even weapons underneath the ring. There's so much stuff that is here in this area right now. It was the most fun. I was the most intrigued when I was reacting to that, and I have to tell y'all right now, man, it was there's so many things that I was curious. I was looking at, like, can they do this? Can they do that? And I know there's more because it's so big. And I thought, and the climbing speed is just fast. So it's like you're not sitting there having to wait for them to climb. Now, once again, I didn't see anybody climb up ladders. Okay, I'm talking about the ladders in the back. It takes so long for everybody to climb up. I didn't see any of that, but however, I did see the climbing speeds moving pretty fast here. And I have to say, my goodness, it got me really excited for doing the kind of brawls and see what kind of damage that we can do. Side note, when it comes to damaging, they say in the intergender matches, because that's one of the new features they said, they can do any type of thing when it comes to intergender. Any match can be an intergender match. Okay, I even heard that special referee, any match could be a special referee match. Now, once again, I didn't really see too much proof of that. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take their word for it, of course. But I did see that women can bleed now. Now, I only saw the bleeding in the Laura Valkyria and Nia Jax matchup. Now, I don't know if the women can bleed in their own matchup, but they did say the intergender stuff, there won't be no bruising or no bleeding when you're doing intergender stuff like that. But I guess now maybe if it's just by themselves, maybe they can bleed. I don't know. But if that's the case, for what I see in that footage, I don't know if it's just for a showcase or not, but that looks awesome. Which brings me to my next thing, showcase mode. I am a huge fan of showcase. I love showcase mode. I've loved showcase for years. But I can admit when things get repetitive and done, like, I love Daniel Bryan's in 2K19. I didn't like the 4 Horsewomen in 2K20. Then 2K22, they introduced the slingshot technology of Rey Mysterio. I thought it was pretty cool, but I thought it was very much lacking. And then the next year they did John Cena. I thought that was cool, having trying to beat John Cena. I thought that was an interesting take on it. Then they had the 40s WrestleMania, bringing that back, and I enjoyed that, but the slingshot was still in the way. But this time, we're done with our slingshot. It's going to be actual animation when it comes to showcase mode, and this time they introduced 3 different matches with 3 different scenarios that they have. They have Nia Jax versus Laura Valkyria from Queen of the Ring. And this is a scenario where you can have change history, where Nia Jax wins the King of the Ring, but you can have Laura Valkyria beat Nia Jax and have an alternate cutscene at the end. Then they have Seth Rollins taking on Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble 2022. This is when Roman Reigns got disqualified for holding on that guillotine choke so hard. But this time, it's like you can rewrite history and alter history, because they have a thing where Roman does not hold on, and you can beat Seth Rollins and still retain the Universal Championship, or even have Seth win it. There's different kinds of outcomes that you can do in there, and then once again, it's all cutscenes. There's no more slingshot tech, and it's I think that's an interesting way that they can do showcase. And then the third match they showed was a dream match, and these are all hosted by Paul Heyman. It's a dream match between the Wild Samoans and the Dudley Boys in a tables match. So they're going to be different scenarios where there could be some type of dream matches they have. Here's the thing what I like about the dream matches though, because when you're in showcase mode, one of the biggest things is when you're doing something with a character that is as part of the company that you can sign off on, and somebody that's not, it helps get away from the fact that you can actually have these matches in a dream match scenario, and then you can, without having to worry about who their opponents were. Now, for instance, the Wild Samoans in the game. I'm hoping now, because they had signed Legends deals, and they were in Supercard, just like Rocky Johnson did. Now, I wonder if Tony Atlas did the same thing, because I wonder if they would have the Wild Samoans taking on Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas in here. Now, once again, it was only one match that they showed. It's a possibility that match could still be in there. But for instance, you can have Rocky Johnson versus The Rock, because maybe some of Rocky Johnson's opponents are not under contract for WWE to use their likeness in the game. You see what I'm saying? So that's what that dream match there came out for. So far, with the way Showcase is looking, I've heard positive things about it. For somebody who is a fan of Showcase, I love to see this kind of stuff. And now I'm curious to see what's the match that's going to be and how many matches we get it. Because if you already gave us 21 for WrestleMania, the 40 years of WrestleMania, you have for a whole Bloodline Dynasty, you got to at least give us 20. You got to at least give us 20. Now, once again, we didn't get a chance to see anything from NXT Underground. However, on Up, Up, Down, Down, they did play a match between Roman and The Rock, I believe it was, in the NXT as the Underground matchup, and you got to see what it kind of looked like in there. And now, once again, I know a lot of content creators can't talk about it, so I'm not going to talk about it neither. I'm just saying, off of what I saw, it looks pretty entertaining, but I don't know any details about it other than that clip that they had on Up, Up, Down, Down. But other than that, I can't wait to see more about what the Underground has to offer for that. But overall, that was just my first impressions of the things that I saw. There's going to be more videos I want to do, more breakdowns, because there's going to be more things that's going to be coming out. There's a new trailer that's going to be out, and there's going to be new things that we're going to have to break down in that trailer as well. And there's going to be new details coming up in the weekend, so make sure you guys are going to be subscribed to my channel to get all of that news and all my opinions about it. But that's just what I have for you guys right now. I appreciate all these content creators that get invited out there. I hope I can get my grind on and be one of them content creators to go out there and get things for you guys as well in the future. So make sure, and the best way to do that is help like this video for me, and to help get that subscribe button up so I can get this thing going. I appreciate everything, guys, and make sure you stay tuned for more. I got reactions going up also, and we got more news coming this weekend. So once again, this is NC and the place to be. Chilling with your Mr. A&D, and the Nerd Coalition is out.